everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're brand new here, hi, I'm so happy you're here. My name is Leah. I'm a notary and a loan signing agent, amongst other things. And if you are not new here but have not subscribed yet, then why not? Have I offered anything of value to you? Has there been any information that I've imparted to you that you've thought about afterward? Well, make sure that you subscribe, because guess what? As long as you're here for watching these videos, I'm going to keep creating them. So obviously you're here because you're interested in becoming a loan signing agent, or you're a new loan signing agent and you're excited about this opportunity. Why wouldn't you be? Maybe you're just curious about this opportunity and you want to gather information. Well, of course, your girl has got you covered. I am here to assist you with that too. So today I'm bringing you reasons why you should not become a loan signing agent. So as always, I always try to pin down my thoughts just so that I can make sure that I don't miss any points that I wanted to impart to you guys on this video. So if you like this content, if you like what I have talked to you about, please make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe as well. But let's start off and let's jump into the points. So reason number one that you may not want to start in this business if you are not financially ready. So what I mean by that is sometimes when you start in this business, of course, there is the initial startup cost, which is a separate subject. So let's just put that off to the side. But when you work with companies, not everyone pays you the same day. As a matter of fact, I've never gotten paid the same day. So on average, the money that I make comes in 30 to 45 days from when I completed the signing. So it's really good to sit down and kind of calculate the cost to see if this is something that you could actually do right now. You may want to do it, but right now may not be the time for you. It could create a very, very stressful environment if you don't have money for gas, for food while you're out on these signings, and small little incidentals could turn into big mountains when if you were financially ready to start on it, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Just want to make sure that I'm giving you a fair warning of what this business is all about. So most times you are paid on like a net 30, could be net 45, net 60, but I normally am paid between 30 and 45 days from signings when I complete a signing. Reason number two that this business might not be for you is if you're very rigid. This business definitely requires flexibility, especially if you want to go direct. And the reason I say that is when you are positioning yourselves to persons who can give you jobs and assignments, you're basically positioning yourself as the person who is at their beck and call. You like it or not, that's the truth of the matter, because your aim is to make their jobs easier, for their signings to go seamlessly. And I'm not sure how many of you may have purchased a home, but in the home buying process, sometimes you as the home buyer don't even know when you're going to actually close on the home. Sometimes the paperwork is still being held up with underwriting, and the lender is still waiting for underwriting to give them the okay, the clear to close. Well, it's the same thing with loan signings. So when they need you to complete a signing, they need you. It's not always that way. Sometimes you do have insight on what your schedule is going to look like. For instance, sometimes a company that I work with directly will give me a call and say, hey, Leah, could you do this signing on Thursday? So it may be 2 days notice that they give me, which is great. It gives me time to be able to understand what my schedule is going to look like and let other signings fall in place. But if 2 days notice is too short for you, this business probably is not for you. That's not to say that you cannot turn down any business. You can turn down business. But in the beginning, I strongly suggest that you take as much business as you can. So let's jump into point number three. A third reason why this business may not be for you is if you hate answering the phone, especially with unknown calls. Let me tell you guys, the very first time that I got a call from a direct company, it showed up on my caller ID as a spam call. Well, basically, I answered the call, and I'm so happy that I did, because I've been able to form a relationship with this company, and they have called me time and time again anytime that they need a signing in their area. They even have me down as one of their notaries of priority, because they know that I'm going to get the job done right. They know that I'm going to turn the package in on time, and they know that they can really count on me because I've proven myself. So if you don't like to answer your phone, especially when it's an unknown number or even a spam number, this might not be for you. So speaking of phone, let's jump into reason number 4. Reason number 4, it may not be for you if you don't like to be tied to your phone. Your phone is like the lifeline of your business. It's so necessary for you to check your phone and see what that notification is and tap the accept button for the signing. Sometimes if you wait around even 5 minutes, that can make the difference between you getting a signing and not getting a signing. And as I stated before, when you're brand new, you want to take as many signings as you can. Now, this is not to negate the fact that you have important things that are scheduled. However, if you have free time and you are ready to make some money in this business, it is very necessary for you to get your name out there, build relationships with these companies, and accept notifications. So if you don't like to check your phone frequently, this might not be the business for you. The reason number 5, and I hope this does not step on anybody's toes. If it does, maybe you need to sit Indian style, but this business is not for you if you're lazy. It takes work. It's actual work, unpaid work. There's so much to do in this business that is unpaid, especially when you get started. So if you're not willing to sign up for signing services, then this might not be for you. I've seen people say that, who's got time to sign up for 100 signing services? You should. It doesn't mean that you have to sign up for all 100 signing services in one setting. That is overwhelming because each signing service has a different process. Some is as simple as filling out some generic information, submitting your credentials. Others, it's a full-blown packet that you have to print, handwrite, and then submit along with your credentials. So if you're not willing to put in the work, and being lazy is what I call it, then okay, this is probably not for you. Now, that's not to say if you are too busy. If your life is very demanding and very hectic as it is, and you can't add this extra layer of stress, then of course, this is not for you right now. And I'm not talking to people who just have an extra demanding schedule. I'm talking to people who have nothing better to do but to sit on their phone and aimlessly scroll through social media, or, binge watch shows without wanting to actually put work into their business. You may see people's success stories on YouTube, but believe me, they have early mornings that they put into their business. They have late nights that they stay up for their business. So the same thing is required of you. People are not making $10,000 a month just by chance. They're actually putting in the work. So reason number 6, this business may not be for you if you hate networking. If you see that there are some events in your area, then you should go to those events because this is where you're going to meet key people. You may have seen some of my videos on marketing, and it is good to pound the pavement. But the most effective way to market is to basically get in front of decision makers. You could actually introduce yourself. You could have a conversation with them. From that conversation, they will be able to discern that you're knowledgeable, you're ready, you're hungry, and you're wanting to actually work. And that's a great way for you to gain business from these escrow officers, title companies, mortgage professionals, real estate agents, and so on and so forth. So look around. That's a prime opportunity for you to build your business. But if you're not willing to do things such as network, then this business may not be for you. And I kind of touched on the next point, but it may not be for you if you're not willing to invest. And I'm talking about investing money as far as the startup costs for the business. If you have no knowledge of the types of loan closings that there are, the types of loan documents that there are, it's probably good for you to invest in a course. There's so many courses available, so invest in somebody's course because that's really, really important. But just buying the course is not going to do it. The second component, of course, is investing your time. Just scrolling through YouTube and looking at YouTube videos is not going to do it. You have to be able to invest your time in reading, looking at the NNA, looking at their website, become familiar with things in this industry, as well as your local clerk of court. Oh, that's where my notary information is found, at the clerk of court's office. You could look up your state's office and become familiar with notary law. It's really imperative to invest the time in learning as well as the money. Now, I'm not a big fan of just going out and spending a whole bunch of money just because. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you should probably already know what my stance is on that. I'm not a huge advocate of just spending money just because. I'm a strong believer in starting with what you have, but sometimes you may not have the bare essentials needed to start, and that will take investment of your money. So of course, if you don't believe that this business is something that you want to do long term, it's probably best that you don't even start. I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to be negative or have a pessimistic outlook, but I'm really just trying to save you money and give you insight on what it's really like to work in this business. Another reason, which is reason number 7, if you lack the discipline to be able to organize your day, to be able to keep up with the calendar. When you're in this business, especially when your name starts getting out there, you may have 2, 3, 4, 5 signings in one day. It's really important to be able to organize your day on those days when you don't have signings, because you should have a plan for the day showing you what you're to do, and because you don't have any signings. So how much time are you using to build your business during those times when you don't have signings? So if you think that just getting your credentials, taking a test, taking a course is going to have your phone blowing up, that's really not the way it goes. I'm not about to paint that picture for you. That's not the way it happened. So reason number 8 that this business might not be for you is if you feel that in the beginning you don't want to take signings under $100. Listen, I'm telling you, everything has an algorithm. If you're on SnapDocs, if you're on Notary Dash, there's an algorithm. They rate your response rate. Of course, signings are given to you based off of your zip code primarily. However, it's so important to be able to gain experience. And if you're not experienced with loan documents, it's really important to be able to really see what's out there, because there's so many different types. You may get a signing for a VA application. You may get a signing for a debt reconciliation. You may get a signing for an auto loan modification. You could get a signing for a home loan modification, for a refi, for a VA loan, for FHA loan. So many different types of signings that you could actually receive. However, starting off, no one is going to just like wanting to throw $150, $200, $250 signings at you. True, you can get them. I'm not saying that you won't, but be willing to grab those smaller assignments too, because chances are, if those assignments aren't out there, experienced notaries in your area might not want to take those signings, and so therefore they're left for you. So you have the opportunity to be able to make a name with that company, to build a relationship with that company. There's many different ways that you could go about doing this besides just completing the signing and sending the package off. There's so many ways to build. And if you want to know some of those ways, then definitely go ahead and schedule a coaching session with me, and I will work with you one-on-one for 45 minutes for the cost of $59, so we could come up with strategies for you to make money in this business. As I was stating before, a notary who is more experienced might decide that they don't want that signing. Does that mean that you'll never get to that $150, $250 signing? No, absolutely not. That's not what that means. A notary could only be in one place at one time. Case in point, yesterday I was at FedEx and I was dropping off a package, and to the left of me I noticed a gentleman actually conducting a closing right there in FedEx. So I approached him and I asked, "Hey, are you a loan signing agent?" He says, "Yes, he is." He had a really nice business card that he gave to me. We chatted for just a second, and then we exchanged information. In the midst of our conversation, we both agreed that we would use each other as paid witnesses if the need ever arose. There's always a need for a witness, and your go-to witness may not be available at the time that you need them to be. That's not a problem. So my whole point of telling you that is we can't think with scarcity. There is plenty of work out here. We have to think with abundance. But if you've ever heard that old adage, you have to crawl before you walk, that's why I'm saying take those smaller signings. I've seen people get their first signing for $100, $150, $200. I've seen it happen. And that's wonderful. That's great. But if it doesn't happen to you, it doesn't mean that there's not enough work in your area. It just means that you have to take those signings, gain experience so that you can be assigned for bigger assignments. And basically, they start feeding you work. I hope that this video gave some insight of what this business is really like. I really tried to paint a very realistic picture for you because really, even though I like it, it's really not for everybody. Do I think that everyone has the ability to manage this business? I think they do. But do you actually want to manage this business? That's the question, and that's something that you'll have to answer for yourself. Well, please, as always, leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know where you are in your business. And I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye.